Oh man, I didn't mean all at once. Why do I get the feeling you were expecting me?
Well, fuck me, we made it, folks. The first season is officially complete with this review, and I'm excited to get into what comes next. Truthfully, Season 1 provided a lot of style, but is only graced with sprinkles of substance about the wider universe, the intentions and capabilities of the Omnitrix, and who else seeks the world-ending device, unless we forget the secrets of Grandpa Max. There's much for the future that's set up with this, and much to discuss coming out the back of this, so let's not waste any time and break down this episode and then provide you with my thoughts about it at the end. We open on the looming antagonist of the season, Vilgax. He's got a new body, he's a new man, and he's back with a new vengeance. He instructs his crew to locate the watch, and sometime later, Vilgax invades Ben's dreams again and tells him he's coming.
What did he say?
What? What? What?
Anyway, moving on. Max grows concerned and says that they're taking off to Mount Rushmore without providing Ben and Gwen any reason as to why. The next day, Ben and Gwen are arguing over the use of her laptop because Ben is rather bored.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
This is serious.
I know. This really is the world's smallest violin.
Gwen informs him to go and find something to do and amuse himself, to which Ben delivers quite possibly the creepiest fucking face that makes clowns look delightful to be around.
Bad touch, stranger danger.
And goes upgrade without her knowing somehow and invades her laptop only to get told off by Max for doing so. This activation clues Vilgax in as to where the watch roughly is on the planet, and he deploys his giant ass balls to run through the nearby cities.
What?
As a means to draw Ben out, hoping that the ego-driven, heroic nature to him will take over. And it does just that.
Ding, ding, ding. What do we have for her, Johnny?
Against Max's wishes, Ben becomes Heat Blast and makes a beeline for the city, and upon his arrival, he's greeted by a bunch of drones and destroys them with relative ease, only to quickly get intercepted by Vilgax, who almost has him secure until Ben one-ups him and repaves the entire road to stop him for now. Max quickly catches up with him as he times out and demands that he gets on the rust bucket. They take off, but Ben becomes overconfident in this moment and goes Stinkfly to take him on again. Only Vilgax catches up and overpowers him.
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
Max and Gwen make it to Mount Rushmore as this transpires, and it's revealed that Max wasn't a normal plumber.
Who knew?
And that he was in fact an agent fighting extraterrestrial threats in his youth, and is more than ready to confront anything that makes its way to them. Then he surprises Gwen even further by revealing that the rust bucket is kitted out to act as a mobile defense unit, and he locates Vilgax's ship and bursts right on in there. As Vilgax is preparing to slice off Ben's arm to extract the watch, Max engages Vilgax, and our antagonist recognizes him by name.
Well, no shit.
Adding even further history to Max's legacy. Ben, meanwhile, encounters an issue with the watch where it suddenly starts malfunctioning and turning him into various aliens at random intervals. Ben utilizes this to the best of his ability and saves Max from being crushed by diving out of the ship with Villy in tow. As they land, Vilgax makes short work of Mount Rushmore and Ben gets away for now. Meanwhile, Max returns Gwen and the rust bucket to land when Vilgax finds them again and holds them to ransom for the watch. Ben concedes and is taken aboard the ship, but Max quickly warns Vilgax to get off there as he's overloaded the ship to self-destruct. Ben takes this opportunity as Heat Blast to glide back down the ground, while Vilgax returns to his starting point from the opening of the season by being blown up. And we close on Ben telling Max that they need to talk. This was a genuine delight to watch back in the day, as it was quite the explosive encounter and brought us face to face with the big bad of the show. The only problem that I found now is, Vilgax isn't actually that great of a threat. He's powerful, there's no mistaking that, but in terms of his capabilities and the amount of times that Ben goes on to kick his ass, you realise that he's not as effective as we're led to believe. Once Ben was able to switch between forms, which I will say right now is a great foreshadowing for Season 2's finale, you realise that he can measure up against Vilgax, though until he's able to master the powers of the watch and his forms, He needs Max and Gwen for now to come in with support. Gwen isn't able to provide much physically in this encounter, but more than makes up for that with comical timing, and the responsibility of supporting Ben physically goes to Max in this encounter, who crucially rattles Vilgax, but inevitably succumbs to his raw physical strength due to his age. The history between Vilgax and Max is explored literally in the next episode, but at this point in time between seasons, there was a lot of questions hanging over Max and the man he once was. We steadily received more information about Max beyond the 2005 series, with more insights into who he knows and how he's been protecting Ben for the years behind the scenes. And it's an interesting watch as you become aware of how vast the villain pool is for Ben, and partly due to Max. The presence of Vilgax was intimidating and added the level of severity that the series deeply needed before you realise that he could be defeated quite easily. His design obviously improves on how we see him at the start, and he only grows to become more physically imposing as the series progresses, which up until Alien Force is actually pretty cool design for the show. To see the arrogance of Ben resurface is frustrating due to the situations he's been through throughout the season and how he's been able to support Max and Gwen and what that should have taught him, but they do what they can to keep him in check going forward, so we as the audience just have to get used to that fact for now. He's a 10-year-old kid that has quite an ego to him and a large responsibility for the wider universe. There is a difference here though for why his egotistical nature resurfaced. Simply put, Ben is arrogant and wants to be the best, and when he thought he bested Vilgax, who was considered the worst, his ego switched into overdrive to become overconfidence, as it was a new challenge for him. A challenge that would be answered with bitter disappointment right now, as he couldn't prepare for the sheer strength that he possesses, but he was naturally drawn to engage with Vilgax and figure out how big of a deal he truly is. In short, it became a dick-waving contest. The lesson that Ben took from this, however, is the same as the season has been telling us from the start. Learn to work with those around you and think before you rush into battle. The final note for this episode is Mount Rushmore itself. It was cool to see an agency almost akin to the Men in Black that were fighting the good fight against individuals like Vilgax. And with what we see and the sheer magnitude of the base's interior, you have to wonder what other items are down there and how they could help the gang out in the future. Ultimately though, that's all I've got regarding this week's episode. It was exciting to finally see Vilgax and get an idea of the Watch's potential going forward, so pay attention to Ben next season as he does fiddle around with the Watch quite a bit. Anyway, that's all I've got this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you liked this video, hit that thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe for more content down the road, and until next time, take care everyone, and I'll see you soon.